Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Welcome back, ladies, to the podcast. How is everybody doing? So today we are talking about the Christmas money reset, rewiring your abundance energy. So let's talk about something most of us never admit out loud, and that is December money stress. And that's presents, events, food, last minute school stuff, everything just piles on. But here's the truth. Money doesn't respond to pressure. Money responds to clarity. Money responds to self-belief. And money responds to your energetic frequency. So let's shift your December money energy right now. So let's look at what am I actually spending money for? Most mums get stressed because they're spending reactively out of guilt, panic or comparison. We all know, if you're like me, I've got all my son's presents. But then you look at everything and you think, is that enough? Is that enough? We know that things cost a lot. And one of his presents cost a lot of money because we all know what devices cost. And then as they get older, you think, well, I don't think they realise small items still cost a lot of money. But then if you do get presents early, you end up buying more because you think, well, actually I've got a bit of extra money, so I'm going to get more things. And that's how we spend reactively, because we just buy last minute presents, last minute things that actually for the day they're going to look at and think, yeah, that's a lot of presents, but actually they're probably never going to play with it. So it's so hard. It's such a hard line to know which way to go. And if we listen to other parents, and I hate it when people put it online of like a piles of presents they've got their children. I mean, one, I don't find that safe because you're telling everybody what you've got, and it's a lot of it is not even wrapped. And it's putting pressure on other people that don't have things for their children. And so I just wouldn't put anything on anyway. I think back in the day I probably put a few things on, but I've learned a lot over the years, and I think you do learn, don't you, from putting things online. We've got to be really safe. And yeah, and that's how we do compare, by going online and seeing and looking at other people and what do you spend, and then we think, oh, we spend quite a lot of money, or they might not. And when we was younger, we didn't ask for money, we didn't ask for big things. There wasn't big things to buy back then. There wasn't phones and devices. You'd get a Nintendo now and again, a Sega Mega Drive. That shows my age. So yeah, it's such a tough one. So anyway, ask yourself, does this purchase add joy or pressure? If it adds pressure, the universe is telling you it's not aligned, it's not required, and you don't need to force it. And that's true, because sometimes our children say they want these things, and actually they probably forget about it in a couple of weeks. My son is literally coming up with ideas for things that he had when he was like 7, and I'm like, no, it's getting ridiculous now. You've had this, we've actually got rid of this. And I said, everything's been sent to Santa now. And I mean, he still kind of does believe, but he does say, like, he knows what really goes on. And I'm like, well, we'll just see then. But he's absolutely ecstatic with his elves have come this morning with his calendars. So he's still, and he won't touch them because he said he'll lose the magic. So he's kind of, his toes in and his half a toes out. But that's just because he's SEN. Normal children, he's 15 next week. They don't normally believe. I mean, I don't remember when I stopped believing. I think I was probably quite late. I quite enjoyed still believing. So, but yeah. So the aligned abundance reframe. So let's look at this. So instead of saying, I can't afford this, I choose where my money goes. Because manifesting isn't about having unlimited money. It's about owning your power around it. Because if we are channeling our money to the right places, we can afford them. It becomes easier. Like I said to my husband, I said, I just don't feel. I said, have we got everything now? And he's like, yeah, I think so. Like, it keeps sending us both things on WhatsApp. But I'm like, I feel like, I kind of don't feel like it's Christmas coming up because I've got ready early. I feel like, should I be stressing? Should I be, everything's up, the trees up, everything's up, by the lights outside. But everything's ready really. I've still got some other bits to buy for family, but I'm really stuck for presents this year. I don't want to, this is what I mean, I don't want to just buy junk and tit-tat. And people are saying this year, like, don't just buy for buying's sake. And this is the thing you do, don't you? You think, to make it look bigger, and you think, what do people want? But then people get fed up with the same presents. So it's being more mindful about presents and maybe looking at vouchers and, like people can buy vouchers for my salon, or even if you want to ask somebody to get a voucher, they can work with me as a one-to-one. You can say, actually, I want to learn how to podcast. I want to learn how to publish a book. Then you can work with me. You can do one-to-ones. You can get my course. There's so many different things that, you can get from my link tree. I've got books on there. So it doesn't always have to be material things. It can be things that's of use to you that you're going to make money from. Let's look at your December creativity portal. Christmas is actually a portal for new ideas. Your subconscious lights up. You're more reflective. You're thinking about next year. You're dreaming bigger. So December is a perfect time to plant business seeds, because this is where we make money. And it doesn't matter if you're in a full-time job. You might be thinking, I don't know anybody that doesn't actually say to me, I would love to set up my own little business. Because life changes. We sometimes don't want to work full-time in an employment, depending on what your job is. Some people are really struggling, and the more children you have, it's such a juggle. So we're always looking for a plan B, a little bit of passive income, which is making money while you sleep. It's creating a product, whether it's a digital product. I have passive income product, my books, my courses. I don't need to show up for them because I just resell them. And the only thing that I trade time for money on is my one-to-ones and working in my salon, because they're different clients, different days. But I've created, because I'm getting older now and I've stepped into that business world, I can't work with everybody at once because I just won't have the time. And as I get older, I might struggle with my hands, my pain management because of my fibromyalgia. So you're kind of setting a precedent for yourself for the future. And it doesn't matter what age you are, you can set up your own business. You can even just start by doing some little books. You can do some stalls. You can do anything that you want. Even just making wax melts. Like, I know people that are making a lot of money doing that. So I want you to look at what you could monetize in 2025, 26. So I always say to people, what do people always ask for you to help them with? And this is where you look at transferable skills. What can you actually do? So you might be one of these people that likes to make cakes for friends at events, or you're really good at stitching and mending things, or you like make burrs or something. We've all got some form of creativity. And then you look at, could I create a product out of this? Could I charge for this? Could we always give everything away for free? Could I teach this? Can I create or share this? So I launched a podcast and I published a book, and then people started saying, can you teach me? And I'm like, yes, but then I realised I have to do it right. I have to start proper. I have to charge right because it's my time. So I created courses and I did them on Canva, and they're evergreen courses now. And I just change them when I change my pictures or learn new updates. It takes 2 seconds to quickly change them and record them, and then I sell them. So there's so many different things you could, if you are, like you say, you're baking, you could do sewing, you could still create a course, a digital product that you can sell. Start small, if it's just an ebook. There's so many different things that you can find valuable. We are always sitting on that one thing that we could make money from. But it's not until when people do like one-to-ones with me, this is like when we have our breakthroughs, we dig a bit deeper, because we say, right, well, what lights you up? And I can see it in the face, like, what do you enjoy doing apart from your job? And sometimes we don't have the option to do our job because that is our salary, that's what we want to do. But it doesn't mean that we can't set up a little business on the side and start having a bit of fun, even if you're just doing it as a hobby. And I always ask people, what would future me thank me for starting now? In years to come, it's like looking at your inner child. What could you do in the future? What would spark you? What would other people think about you? I never thought I was going to do a book or do a podcast years ago. I always used to look at podcasts. I'm like, oh, I'd love to do that. But I always thought it was like an American thing. It's really funny because I didn't know really English podcasters. It was always seen to be Americans. And I'm like, oh my God, they sound amazing. Like, I'm going to need a studio. I'm going to need this. And it's really funny that I've just done it myself. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's so easy. And that's how I teach people. It doesn't have to be hard. I've got my little home studio here. I could go into a studio if I want, but have I got the time to take my son? No, why? I've got everything here. I don't have to take anything with me. I can edit everything myself. Obviously, I could add loads of jingles and bells and different things throughout it, but it doesn't mean anything sometimes because it's just a raw and real podcast. This is just me talking. You're not going to want all that from me because you're going to think, Lindsay, I have not got the time to do that. So that's not going to really be relatable for you because that's just going to put you off and think, I don't have time. Unless you're going to pay somebody to do it all for you, then that's fine. But most people that start a podcast don't have the funds to do that because you're not really going to make money straight away. And people always say about making money through the podcast. It's not just about sponsors and things like that. It's about having a product, and this is part of my business model and what I do and how I help people, and I love to teach manifesting. And then you just look at your niche. You might already have a business, so you can bring that into it. So this December is, a really good time now to think about next year. What lights your subconscious up? Like, how can you dream bigger? And this will start looking at visualization. And it's a perfect time now just to plant the seeds, because when we don't plant the seeds, then we just get to the end of January and we're like, oh, we should have done that, and we should have started, and that can put us off again. So start writing things down over December. Think about what you can turn into a digital product. Can you start coaching? Can you just start with just a small service? You might be trained as something. I do life coaching as well because I'm a qualified fitness coach, but I also did my life coaching. I did my counselling years ago. So I've had my finger in different things, and I've gained the qualifications so I can work with people on different levels. I only work with people that I could think I could help, and I would always, send people on to other people if I feel like, actually, I think you need a little bit more of a sensitive approach to somebody who's a little bit more qualified than me. But I kind of people know what they're getting. As a coach, I only sell myself as a life coach, fitness coach. So I'm going to guide you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to support you. I'm not going to give you all the answers, but I'm going to show you my journey and how I got from A to B in a really easy, strategic way. So let's look at the 10-minute Christmas brain dump. Set a timer for 10 minutes and write every business idea, product idea, side hustle, idea, dream or vision you've ever had. Don't judge it, don't filter it, just let it pour. And this is how the real ideas are born. This is how I launched my podcast. I created a person who was going to be my listener. It was just one person. She was called Sarah. She was 35. She was a mum. I thought about everything that was qualified in. Who can I help? And that's how I did it. What was the pain points? Fitness, health, weight, life coaching. And I wrote down what am I qualified to do? What can I help her with? How am I going to get the best results? And that's how I evolved everything. And it's evolved over time. And now I'm doing a lot. I've done business courses. So now I'm doing business coaching, because when I started it, I just started my podcast, but I wasn't an author. But now I can teach people this because I've got results. I've self-published books, lots of 20 books. So I can teach you that now in an easy way. So I'm the expert to do that. I can do that and teach you how to do it yourself. I absolutely love helping people launch their podcast using their voice. And it's such an amazing feeling to feel like I started off not even knowing how to do a podcast, and now I teach people to do it, and people are making money from it now. And yeah, just people just getting on with it, really. I've had so many amazing wins and just sitting in the background watching people and how they've developed the podcast and how they're selling the books and making money now. Honestly, it's just crazy how we can just do what we can do if we set our mind to it, and that's all it is about, isn't it? It's just getting over those blocks that are in our head, because we don't achieve what we want to achieve if we keep putting barriers there. And we are our own people. I always say this, we just need to stop with the barriers and stop blocking ourselves from doing what we want to do, because what's the point? We're just not going to get anywhere, are we? So there's only us that's going to believe in us. And I'm all about independence. And I don't want you to keep going to loads of different people. Just start doing things on your own. And this is why this podcast's great, because you can get lots of free tips, and I've got free resources. If I'd have had me to begin with, I'd have been doing it a long time ago. So this is why I'm here for you, to help you. When people think that you can't make money off an idea, just look at, could this make me £100? And this takes away the overwhelm. And look at each idea and ask yourself, could this realistically make me £100 or more? And if the answer is yes, it's a viable idea. And that's it. It's simple, it's clear, and it's doable for any of us, because we could create some digital products. I could sell a couple of my courses and easily make £100. I could do a masterclass and get 10 people on and make way over £100. So think about what you can offer. Who is in your audience now? What do people come to you for? How do you help people? You might work within a workplace and still bring that idea into a workplace. All it takes is thinking out the box and having a little bit of self-belief. It's a really good idea now to start looking at maybe digital products, creating some books. And that's what I'm doing now, because even though I've got books, I had a lady that I helped Laura publish her book, and she just shared a book tonight, and she was like, Lindsay's launched a new book. And I'm like, actually, it's not a new book, it's an oldie, but it can repurpose it all the time. And because I've got that many, I forget to do it. Like, I don't do it enough. But I know people are starting to struggle and thinking about next year, and it's a really good present because they're under £10. It's great for like a Secret Santa present, or just for a gift for somebody else, just for like a friend. So it's a really good time that I put my book into AI, and I just asked it to make me like a Christmas theme behind, just to make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So you can use all that. You can get your books. I had a photo shoot done, so there's so much you can do and make some visuals to sell your books, because everybody now is looking at self-care tips, journals, routines. So just start thinking now, what can you do? What do you like to do? Do you like using Canva? Create a little ebook. I remember the first ebook that I created, and it was on a 5-hour journey back from Devon, and I was just messing around, and I literally created it on my phone, I think, on my iPad and phone, and then I put it out there. I said to my husband, I've just done a book. I think it was on self-care. I didn't even research it, everything was in my head. And I put it out there. And he's like, have you done that? And I went, I just did it. And that's how I knew I could, because I was starting to think about books then. And I thought, if I can do that, of course I can do books. Of course I can create books. But I thought, how am I actually, you never see an end, do you? Like, I thought, how am I going to, without getting a publisher and spending so much money, how am I going to get myself a book out there? I'm just going to have to do it myself. And I had a lovely lady, Laura, that edited my book and checked it all through. But she sent it me back, and I've self-published it. And that was probably the most trickiest part, is doing it all through Canva. And then you've obviously got to like submit it into Amazon. But I've done it. I'm here to tell the tale. I'm here to help you. So let's look at boundaries and money equals abundance. When you set boundaries around your time, your energy, your yeses, your emotional labour, you open space for abundance. You can't manifest money if your schedule is overflowing. You can't grow a business if your energy is leaking everywhere. And boundaries create room for more. So let's finish with some affirmations. This podcast is sponsored by the My Nora app. If you or someone you love is experiencing coercive control, you need to know about the My Nora app, created by Emma Davey, a survivor and advocate. This powerful app helps you safely collect evidence, protect your well-being, and take back control, discreetly and securely. Download the My Nora app today and start reclaiming your power. Just search My Nora in your app store now. Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. I choose ease around money this Christmas. I release guilt and welcome aligned abundance. Creativity and opportunities come naturally to me. And I am building my wealth, my ideas, and my future. And that's all we need is a plan, an idea, a focus going forward for the new year, a new you. There's no excuses. I'm here to help you. If you say any excuses, I'm going to come back with a counter excuse because I'm a busy mum. I have a child with additional needs. I've got another business at home. I'm just like you guys. Maybe I've not got as many children as you guys, but when you're an ascend mum, you know that's like having more than one because you're just non-stop and you've got a lot going on. But it's not a competition. We have our own way of achieving our goals and just doing the simple things that I help you with, the time blocking, the manifesting, the abundance work, the money mindset. You don't have to be super rich. You just need to have a better flow. No stress, no drama, no upset. It's just boring. I can't be bothered with it anymore. Honestly, I get so bored of seeing people now moaning about the same things. And when they stop moaning online, they're the ones that are going to start creating a better life for themselves. It is hard when we're all struggling in some way or another. But once we start just changing the way we think and stop saying we're skint all the time, because if we start doing that all the time, you're always going to be skint. But if we start looking at the word skint and saying we're low on cash at the minute, just honestly, then little tweaks of words, the universe is not responding to that. It's not like, here we go. You're going to start looking at positive ways to bring money in, to bring flow in. Because we're capping ourselves sometimes. We're like, we only earn this and this is what we can do. But what about looking for those big promotions? Just clearing those mindset worries. Start working on you. And think of your word. I always keep saying this. Think of a word for next year. You might be the word ease and flow and energy and friendship. Just focus and anchor a word for next year and stick to that word. Stick it on your fridge, stick it on the wall, write it on your hand every day, have it tattooed on your head, anything. Just have it there and think about it and make it the forefront of your year and how you're going to move forward. Mine is going to be growth and definitely fitness. I need to maintain my weight loss. I still have weight loss to go and I still need to tone. I've spent all year losing the weight, the 5 stone since January, but I still have a long way to go and I need to do all the toning now and fitness and the cardiovascular and maintain my sugar levels, all that I still need to maintain. I'm not just going to stop now. Everything's going to keep going, but I need to be in a really good frame of mind. I've gone through this year on full-on grief and everything else that's been going on that you don't always discuss on a podcast because we don't all discuss everything online and everything else that's going on. We keep things back, and that's important that we do keep things back because I do think like our energy has to be protected sometimes, and if we manifest the bad things and we're always talking about them, sometimes they become worse and worse, and it's like being in a workplace and you're really unhappy and somebody's bothering you, and the more we wake up in the morning and think, I hate this job, this is what's going to happen today, we preempted the day. But I would say kill people with kindness. Say thank you when you walk into that building in the morning, whether you like it or not, and start to see the shift. And that's what I realised over the last few years. We could do that. Because I always say, like in a workplace, it's hard, the culture's hard. And it's probably not the job we hate. It's usually the management, it's usually the staff. And usually those things we can control. But you've got to be smart and savvy. And I've learnt this. I wish I'd have known this back then. Because sometimes it is just about that just changing your mindset and having that fire in your belly, which I've had, I think since I turned 40, and I was starting to think about my past and all the things that maybe have held me back in life, and other people and what they've said, because we do have people that say things to us, and we hold space for them, and it stops us moving forwards. Like, oh, well, you can't do it because of this, and you haven't got enough money, so you can't do this. But who are these people to tell us what to do? So that's why I published a book, to stick two things up at a few people, to be fair, and show that actually it doesn't matter where I come from. It doesn't matter if you don't think I can do it, because I know I can do it, and it doesn't matter where any walks of life where you come from. We don't know. We can fall into our life and job by default, but you can also create a life by design. You can do whatever you want. I've always wanted to do hair and beauty, and I will continue to do that as long as I can. But I've also created passive income. I've created another business model on top of that. And it's something else that I love to do. And I love it as equally as the hairdressing. I mean, I love hairdressing a little bit more because I love my clients and seeing people. It's my total escape in there. And Christmas is like my favourite time because I love seeing everybody. I mean, Christmas isn't the same as like when I was younger, hairdressing, because more people went out, we did more hairstyles and going. The energy was so different, and I worked in different salons back then. It was hustle and bustle, and it was fun, and work nights out, and secret Santas and Jacob joins. I don't get that. I just have my clients at home, and which is fine. I wouldn't want to go back to that because I've grown. That wouldn't be growth if I went back to that, because I couldn't cope with the pressure, the bitchiness, the tiredness, the backache, the competition. It's not for me. I don't need that anymore. I just need to be me and work for myself, and I don't get lonely because I feel like it looks lonely from the outside, but when I'm in that room, you just chat to clients and you get to know them. They become like your best friends. So yeah, anyway, I hope you got something from that today. Just start believing and you will start seeing everything. And just go back and listen to my episodes from the beginning and just see how much like I've changed and come through. Because we can do whatever we want, and I've not even hit the surface of what I want to do yet. There's just so many different things I can do. And yeah, I've got enough time to do those. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Don't forget to come and follow me on my socials. All my books are in my link tree. My courses are on there if you are thinking of doing some mindset work. Or actually, before I go, I had a friend come and she came on for a facial, and we did some Reiki. So we did a bit of coaching with it, and honestly, the results was like amazing. Everything that we did, some oracle cards with her, and yeah. But what happened an hour before, I was sat here doing some journaling, and I started to feel really upset. And it was a day before my nan's anniversary. It was the 28th, and I felt really upset. And I couldn't figure out. Really dark, and I could smell something. And I had to Palo Santo everything in here, and then I went in the salon. And I thought, I'm going to have to get some cards out. So I got some cards out. My friend come in, obviously discussed the cards. Then she could explain the cards. And she got upset, I got upset, and we hugged. And I said, something's making me really upset. I was picking, because I know her personally, I was picking up energy. I don't know everything about everybody and what's going on in their lives. But when she had the treatment, she said, it was very emotional. And she was like just planted she said I couldn't move my body. So it was just incredible, just what she felt. And she said, I just feel like you've lifted everything. And that's all it is. And that's the work that I do, whether you come for a treatment or you want to come to mine, if you're local, or we just do it on Zoom. I've got a manifestation 4-week container, or we can just do a 1-to-1. And just that's your way of just testing what you want, like what type of work you want to like go into. Sometimes you don't really know. It's only afterwards you think, actually, I want to work more into fitness. I want to work on a couple of goals. I want to work on money blocks. I want to work on mindset, boundaries. I'd cover everything. I might want to publish a book. I'd probably say that, just do that. If you are in a really good place, and I'd say, right, let's jump into the book and the podcast. But if you've got a lot of blocks in place, I would definitely do a couple of sessions on your mindset, your goal setting. Then you can work your way up to the big things then. It's like a journey then. Everything is in my link tree. And if you've got any questions, please send me a message. And don't forget to share this podcast with whoever you feel would benefit. And I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now. If you're feeling called to go deeper, to align more, create more, and really step into that next version of you, you'll find everything you need in my link tree. From my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood, to powerful resources and ways we can work together, it's all there waiting for you. Come and find me on Instagram or Facebook. I love hearing what landed with you. Don't forget to follow the podcast, and if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who is on their own journey too. And happy manifesting.